Welcome back. It's a beautiful day to be a fiance. Welcome back. It's a beautiful day to be alive. As you may have heard, because I've been talking about it quite a bit lately, okay? I can't shut up about it. I am engaged. She did it. She did it. Some of y'all doubted me, but she did it. Some of you have been here for the entire process. From the day I saw Stefan in the gym, the day we went on our first date, he came to my gym, you know, he followed me to my gym. Some of you have been here since the very beginning of our relationship. So it just feels like, you know, we all got engaged. I really want to do a full wedding series, but before we get into that, the wedding planning, very overwhelming. Let's kick this off with a Q&A. It's a Q&A. You got the Q's and I got the A's. It's a Q and A. Q&A. Over on my Instagram, if you don't follow me on Instagram, girl, what is you doing? I asked you guys over there, what's the T? What's the 411? What do you guys want to know? So many questions, so let's jump into it. Okay, most common question after the proposal videos went up is, how did you know Stefan was gonna propose? And you guys, I'm telling you, Stefan is so obvious and oblivious to everything he does, okay? When you know somebody like the back of your hand, I know that man like the back of my hand. And when this man that I'm head over heels in love with starts acting like a weirdo, I know something's up. So it all started with him planning a date. Okay, we're in the middle of a pandemic here. We haven't been going on dates, and if we go on dates, we're not really that couple that goes on dates. Even if we were in a pandemic, I would find it suspicious because we don't go on dates. That's my favorite thing about my relationship with Stefan is we're homebodies. I finally found the home for my homebody. My home, you know what? I finally found my buddy for my home body, because we're homebodies together. We would so much rather be hanging out in the pubs, hanging out at home, than going out on fancy dates. That's how we've always been. You know, the suspicion all started when he said 2 weeks before that in 2 weeks we're going on a date. So when I was like, it's time to keep our eyes peeled and our ears open, ladies. Our man's acting suspicious. Hint number 2 was the haircut. Okay, Stefan's been cutting his own hair since the day I met him. I think he's cut his hair his whole life. He's been very upset during this pandemic cutting his hair at my house because I don't have like a side medicine cabinet, and I guess that he like needs that to cut his hair. So he's like suffered through, but for this haircut, he wanted to go home. Suspicious. So he goes home, he cuts his hair. The next day I see him and he's like he does every week, hey, do you like my haircut? And I'm like, yes, looks great, you know? Well, this week he goes, well, wait, are you sure you like it? Like, you really like it? I'm gonna do a full 360. And then this kid, okay, he goes like this. Are you watching? Do you like it? You're acting sketchy, dude. Your hair looks great. I love it. And he goes, yeah, this is the favorite cut that I do that you like, so I knew you were gonna like it. And I was like, okay. Hit number 3, he just keeps disappearing. MIA, okay? There was one night that he was gone from like 4 p.m. to 11 p.m., which I later found out he was driving to the state of Wyoming, I think Wyoming, to get fireworks to go off after the proposal. So that's where he was that night, okay? Just suspicious. Ooh, great question. Did you talk about getting married one day before getting engaged? If so, how long ago, you guys? Steph and I have been talking about getting married for years. I brought up the idea of marriage probably 6 months into our relationship. In my late 20s, my vision was always, I'm dating to marry. I'm not dating to date. I eventually wanted to get married. I have always wanted that. I've always wanted to get married. And I feel like, listen, when you really like somebody, you know, 6 months into it, I was like, this is my soulmate. I can feel it in my heart and soul. I need to know if we're on the same page. And so Steph and I started talking about getting married 6 months into our relationship. You know, listen, I know there's girls out there and they never ever talk about getting married until their man is down on one knee. And that's just not who I am. Steph and I over the last couple of years have had some really hard discussions about marriage and about our future and our kids, and those are discussions I felt were really important to have before we even got engaged. So we've been talking about getting married forever. We both knew we wanted to marry each other. That was never a question. So, you know, to all you girls that like never talk about it and then we get married, like, listen, I hate surprises. I could never do that. I could never. Can you imagine? Another one off of that, did y'all talk about when you want it to happen prior to the engagement? So end of the year last year, I was like, listen, I think it's our time to shine. you know? And Stefan agreed, and then we started talking about rings. So I knew it was gonna be this year. We had always talked about getting engaged this year. I didn't know when this year it was gonna happen. When are you planning on having the wedding? So we already have our wedding date set. The only reason why we have our wedding date set is because mostly all of the weddings from this summer got pushed to next summer. I'm so sorry if that's you. You guys are in my heart, my thoughts, and my prayers. So because everyone's wedding from this summer got pushed to next summer, when we got engaged, my photographer only had 1 weekend open in the month that I want to get married. You know, so we set the date, and I'm just gonna hope everything else aligns. We don't even have a venue yet. We have nothing. I have nothing ready besides the date, and just we're gonna hope that everything aligns, okay? I guess I have my photographer, Jordan Voth. At Jordan Voth, he was the one that took all of our proposal photos, and he's fan-freaking-tastic. I followed him for years and years and years. I knew one day he was gonna photograph my wedding. I had to have it. How long are y'all planning on being engaged? So from the time we got engaged to the time we get married, it'll be roughly a year. But now that we're engaged, I'm like super happy and like lovey-dovey. I'm like, maybe we're engaged for 2 years. I don't know if I could wait like two more years though. At the beginning of this year, did you think this was the year he was proposed? Yes, we did talk about it. I knew this was gonna be the year of fiance. And a lot of you guys knew it too. I got so many DMs on Instagram. I had this couple DM me and they're like, hey, we're taking bets. We think you'll get engaged in the next couple of months. And I was like, I think you're right. All right, did Stefan ask your dad? Yes, my parents don't live close to me. They live in Ohio still. So Stefan did FaceTime my mom and my dad together. It was so sweet. I mean, I wasn't there. He did it in the car, but when he told me about it later, it sounded really sweet. This is the most common question. Did you guys look at rings together, or was your ring a surprise? Another one, did Stefan choose the ring all by himself? Another one, did you help pick out the ring? So many questions about my ring. So here's the tea. Here's the 411 on how this ring came about. I've had a few custom pieces made of jewelry that are very, very special to me. So I have this necklace, which everyone thinks is an evil eye necklace. It's not. In 2018, my mom for Christmas gifted me her engagement ring, her very first engagement ring. I think after their like 20-year anniversary, they upgraded my mom's ring. And so this ring was just sitting in her jewelry box. Every time I'd go home, I had my eyes on it. She gifted it to me for Christmas. And then I had this piece created. I wear it every single day. I never take it off. We took my mom's middle diamond, popped it into this, and then took all of the diamonds on her band and popped it around it. And then after my grandma passed away, I was also gifted her opal ring. And then I had her opal ring redesigned into a ring that would actually fit me and was very updated, but still had the same diamonds, opal, for my grandma's original ring. And I have done this through Jamie at J Brooks Jewelers, which you guys saw in the engagement video that Stefan took of him like vlogging, going to pick up the rings. Jamie's the one that's designed my necklace and my ring. She is fan-freaking-tastic. I knew that when Stefan and I were ready to go look at engagement rings, Jamie was the girl. I've been looking at engagement rings forever, okay? Forever. Some of y'all called me out for it because I follow quite a few jewelry Instagram accounts and I'm constantly commenting, liking, saving. I had a really good idea of what I wanted for my engagement ring. I would send them to Jamie, tell her I like this, send them to Stefan, I really like this. I knew going into J Brooks exactly what I wanted my engagement ring to look like, because for the past year, I would say I started taking it very seriously March 2019. I have done my research. I have planned the design of my ring for over a year now. So listen, let me tell you something, okay? Let me tell you something. If you want something done right, a man's not gonna read your mind. That's all I'm gonna say. In December, Stefan actually asked me to go diamond shopping, and I was like, what? It's happening. So December 2019, we went in, started working with Jamie on finding diamonds. I've never had like a diamond that's mine. These diamonds take centuries to create, and they're so special, and I knew if we're gonna pick out a diamond, it had to be perfect, and I was so happy and honored that Stefan asked me to be a part of it. So it took us from December, all of January, and half of February. We picked my diamond right before Stefan and I went to Cabo, actually. We looked at diamonds 1,010 times. Through those 2.5 months, we probably looked at 15 to 20 diamonds until we found the perfect diamond. I've always wanted an oval, but I think your opinion, like a couple years ago, if you would have asked me, I wanted an emerald. Once you start trying on different diamonds and looking at them on your fingers, your whole mind shifts. So I knew going into this I wanted ovals. We only looked at oval diamonds. Jamie would bring in diamonds from New York, LA, and we would go in and look at these diamonds. Different sizes, cuts, clarity, and you know, when this diamond presented itself in front of us, chills. I cried. I just knew it was the one. Stefan loved it, I loved it, and it was the one, man. And then that was it. So we picked out the diamond, and Stefan and Jamie had full control of everything else. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I didn't tell them exactly what I wanted. The nice thing is I knew what my diamond looked like, but I didn't know about anything else. I didn't see the rest of my ring until it was on my fingers. So very special. So did go with an oval diamond and a yellow gold band. I love yellow gold. My necklace, yellow gold. All of my rings are yellow gold. I love yellow gold. All my bracelets, yellow gold. That's the story of the diamond. People are very opinionated. Like, I got so many nasty comments like, she knew what her ring was gonna look like. Okay, why does that matter to you? Because it's not your ring, it's mine. You know what I'm saying? Whether you want it to be a surprise or you want to be involved in it, do whatever the heck mob you want. I wanted to be involved, and let me tell you why. I hope my dad doesn't watch this. Dad, no offense if you watch this, okay? You're an amazing man, and you do no wrong. But my mom gave me one warning, and that warning was to make sure your man knows exactly what you want. Because my mom, her whole life, all she wanted was a princess cut diamond, and then my dad got her a marquee diamond. My mom loved her ring, but it wasn't what she always wanted. And I just, if I'm gonna be wearing this ring for the rest of my life and it's going to be passed down to my daughters and their daughters, I just want to make sure it's the ring of my dreams. So I will never forget the experience of looking at diamonds with Stefan. It was so fun and so special, and I just knew I had a jeweler I really trusted. Stefan knew what I wanted. I knew after the diamond process, letting the rest be in their hands, it would turn out perfect. Jamie did a fantastic job of designing my ring. My ring is completely designed by her and with the ideas of me. Of course, with me and Stefan's help. I wanted my ring to be very personalized and very special and just one of a kind, true to me, and Jamie achieved all that. So listen, if you're getting engaged soon, you better go to Jamie because she's the best of the best. And you guys, it's more than I could have ever expected. That's all I'm saying. When are y'all moving in together? We'll move in together when we get married. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, like, you guys know we've been quarantined together, so we really got a taste of what living together was gonna be like. Listen, in the beginning of the pandemic, it was rough, okay? It was rough. Nobody spends that much time with their significant other 24/7 because he wasn't going to the office anymore. It was rough. We got through it though. We got through it. It wasn't like terrible. It's just like when you're with somebody for that long, you're like, oh my gosh, dude, get on my grill, you know? And so we'll move in together officially when we're married. Would you have a camera there if you could do it over? Like, did you like the experience? Yes, 110,000%. I'm so happy that Stefan had a photographer and a videographer. Those are moments that I can look back on forever. I can show our kids. I can show Neve and Indy. You know, unfortunately they weren't there, so I had to let them see what's going on, you know, because of the pandemic. My parents couldn't be there, my family couldn't be there, so to have a videographer and a photographer there was very, very special. All right, so this question is, did you cry? If you know me, I'm not a crier, okay? Takes a lot for me to cry. I know I'm a Pisces and I should be a crier, but I'm really not. But when Stefan got down on one knee, I was so overwhelmed that I got very teary-eyed, and some tears did shed, okay? Was I hysterically sobbing? No, that's just not who I am. I'm not a happy crier, and I'm hardly a sad crier. I'm a frustrated crier. Hannah asks, are you going to have a big or small wedding? My wedding will be 100 guests or less. I'm not gonna go anywhere over 100. Steph and I started like mapping out all the names of people we would be inviting, and we're sitting at like 80. So that gives us like a little buffer, you know, if we gotta add more. So I don't know if that's big or small. I think that's small. But I feel like really small weddings are like 50 people. So we're at 100. How did you know he was the one? You know, my mom said something to me one time because I was asking her, how am I supposed to know that Stefan's the one? And the biggest thing that I admire in my parents' marriage, they've been married for over 30 years now, my parents are best friends, and I admire that so much. And every relationship that I've been in, it never felt like I was their number one. I was their bestest friend in the whole world until I started dating Stefan. With Stefan is my best friend in the entire world. He is like my ride or die, and it reminds me so much of my parents' relationship where they're just best friends in the whole world. And that is what Stefan is to me. I always feel like the most important person in Stefan's life, whereas in past relationships I always felt like, not all of them, but my boyfriend would put his friends before me, and that like hurt, man. I want to be your best friend. So not only is Stefan my best friend in the whole world, but my day is just instantly better the minute I see Stefan. When Stefan would go to the office and come home, like my day got 100 times better when Stefan would walk through that door. Navy's a new dog when Stefan comes home. Okay, he has a little pep in his step, and I have a pep in my step. Stefan and I have had some really tough things that we've had to work through, and we've made it out better, stronger, and I just can't picture a day in my life without Stefan. He makes me so happy. So happy. I can be in the grumpiest mood and Stefan knows how to make me laugh. He's just so patient with me. He's so kind. He is gonna be the best dad, and that gives me chills. I think it was a lot of things that added up slowly where I knew he was the person for me, but I would say like number one, that's my best friend. Oh, that's my best friend. Ooh, did Stefan change the timing of proposal due to pandemic, or was it always the plan? Stefan! When was the original proposal date? May 9th was supposed to be the day that I got proposed to. It got pushed back to June 13th, which 13 is Stefan's favorite number, so it really just worked out perfectly. Will you do a vlog of all of your wedding planning? Yes. I'm gonna do a full wedding series. It's gonna be so much freaking fun. What style dress are you looking at? Listen, these are questions I just can't answer yet. I don't know. I gotta get going on Pinterest. Do you remember what he said before he asked? Feels like no one ever remembers. No. Nope. I blacked out. I don't know what the heck he said, which is why I'm so happy it was on video. I would say, when I think back to the moment, I remember him getting down on his knee, me crying, couldn't breathe. The sweetest moment of the entire proposal was when he like was so overwhelmed with emotion before he even began that he like put his head on my hand and he said, I can't believe it's finally happening. So no, I don't remember. I blacked out. But that's why I'm so happy I got the video footage, you know? All the time. Do you wear your ring, working out, showering, sleeping? No, I was informed by Jamie that you should definitely not wear it when you're working out. When you're holding dumbbells, it can scratch the inside and bend it, and then if you have diamonds on your band like I do, then those diamonds can pop out. Also, I've heard horror stories of people not being able to get their ring taken off when they're working out because your fingers expand with heat. I've heard horror stories, okay? I think you can wear it when you're showering, but definitely not when you're sleeping. I just take it off when I'm doing all of the above. Please do a love story and proposal video. So I'm thinking it'll be so fun for Stefan and I don't know, it could be overkill, so you guys let me know, but I thought it would be so fun for Stefan and I to sit down together and talk through the entire proposal, like everything you didn't see in the vlog and on the proposal video. And we definitely need to do a love story video because so many of y'all want to know about that first date and why it was so terrible. Was Stefan upset that you had a gut feeling about it? No, not at all. I don't like surprises. Okay, it's probably one of the things I dislike about myself the most, but I get very embarrassed very easily. Okay, like so easily. Everything embarrasses me. Attention from people in public, people looking at me, embarrassing. Okay, so the idea of Stefan proposing like in a group of people is my living, breathing nightmare, and he knows that about me. So Stefan was not upset about it because I think I would have had, I think I would have cried of pure embarrassment if I had no idea it was happening. I know I would have. Everything Stefan did was perfect. I needed those little hints, even if he didn't know that they were little hints, I needed those so that I could prepare so that I wasn't embarrassed. And I still was a little embarrassed, but like I got over it, you know what I mean? Did you wish Navy and Indy were there? You know what? They're crazy heads. And I'm like that mom that's like, are my children safe? So I think it was better that they weren't there because I would have been very concerned about them the entire time. Are you guys thinking about a destination wedding at all? My entire life, I thought I was gonna get married in Hawaii. I love Hawaii. Hawaii holds a very special place in my heart. I have gone to Hawaii during some of the darkest times of my life. Hawaii is just like the most, something about Hawaii, man, like it just holds such a special place in my heart. I've always wanted to live in Hawaii. I almost picked up after my junior year and moved to Hawaii. I've always wanted to live in Hawaii. In fact, I'm trying to pitch the idea to Stefan that after we get married, we go and live in Hawaii for a few months. It's what I've always wanted. I feel like if I don't do it, I'm gonna have a lot of regrets about it. So, you know, before we have babies, I would like to live in Hawaii. We can live in Hawaii with babies just for a few months. So I always thought I was gonna get married in Hawaii, okay? Even until last year, I thought I was gonna get married in Hawaii. I don't know, I'm not opposed to it. I'm still not opposed to it. I'm just not, I just feel like for Stefan and I, like in the mountains is so much more Stefan and I, you know what I mean? Like once I met the person I was gonna marry, I was like, you know what, maybe Hawaii's like not our thing. Maybe it's like we live there later, but it's not like our wedding destination. So we'll see. I'm not opposed to it. I'm not opposed to it. Was the location special to you or just a gorgeous spot Stefan found? Just a gorgeous spot that Stefan found, and it ended up being perfect. Perfect. I've told all of my closest friends this, but when you're, and maybe I'm crazy, maybe this is just me, but you just dream of the day that you're gonna get engaged your whole life. At least I have. I've dreamed about it my whole life. And the way that Stefan proposed to me was better than I ever expected it to ever be. I never thought it would be that magical. Like Stefan exceeded every single expectation that I had. I saw a question asking if I gave Stefan any special instructions for the proposal. The only thing that I asked of Stefan was that we were not around a lot of people because I get very embarrassed. Like I can't handle that pressure. How does it feel to be a fiance? Thank you for asking, Nina. You know what? It feels like I'm walking on clouds every day. You know, it really does. It really does. Do you have an idea of your dream wedding? What's it include? All I know is that I want it to be outside. I really want an outside wedding, which is why I'm very specific on the time of the year that we get married. Will you have any bridesmaids? If so, how many? Listen, this is a touchy subject right now. This is a touchy subject. I've never wanted bridesmaids. Never. And then my mom and all my best friends and Stefan's here now.
What's up, guys?
You know, everyone says I'm crazy for not having bridesmaids, so I've decided I will have bridesmaids, but only because all y'all said I was a weirdo for not wanting them. But it's fine. It's fine. It'll be fun. I think the biggest struggle we're gonna have is having the same amount of bridesmaids and groomsmen, you know?
I don't think that'll be an issue.
I think that's gonna be an issue. 1 to 10 rating on engagement ring, 10 plus, 100 plus 10.
I also agree.
You should have been here the whole time. This is a lot more fun. How did your dad react if Stefan did ask for permission? Here, pop in here. Let him know real quick. How did my dad react?
He said, well, they just finished the baseball game.
Yeah.
So they rescheduled my call to later because they were at baseball. And then
my little brother plays baseball, my dad's the coach.
Yeah, and then I FaceTimed Momager and Papager, and Momager goes, yes. Right away.
Well, first you gave your little spiel.
Yeah, I give my little spiel.
About why you wanted to marry me.
Yep, talk about how I love your daughter, talk about how much I love you, all that stuff, how great you are, how much you've made me a better person, and then Momager as well. It's a yes from me.
I can just envision it like, it's a yes from me.
And then she goes, because I'm FaceTiming them both, and then she points the phone over to Greg, Papager, and she goes, Greg? And then he just talks about
just like more personal stuff.
Yeah, more personal stuff. He's like, you do a great job of like handling when to step back versus when to like support wit, those types of things. And then he talks about like how difficult marriages are and how bought in you need to be, and then about also the spiritual connection, how important that is. And then ultimately he said yes.
Yes. When did he first tell you he loved you? Okay, this is kind of, we can include this in our love story. Stefan will deny this till the day he dies, I think.
Because it's not true.
It is true. So Stefan and I, we were bowling one day. This was, I would say a month into dating. A month?
No.
A month into dating, and he got a strike, and he was like so jazzed up, and he was just like so excited this night at bowling with we were with our friend Mason, and the three of us were just pumped up this night. And while he was so excited after a strike, he was like, I love you. And I was like, and then he said it again that night. He said it 2 times that night.
I think there was music that she must have heard in the bowling alley.
Basically, he told me 2 times in a row at bowling, by accident or not, that he loves me.
Yeah, it wasn't.
And then I felt the pressure to tell him that I also loved him, so I waited a couple weeks, and then we were in California together.
So you just felt pressured to tell me?
No. Well, I just felt pressured to be the next one to say it, you know?
Okay.
So then I told him a couple weeks later in California. Did you have to have your ring resized, or did Stefan know your size? Yes, I had my ring resized. I went down half a size, and then I think I still might add a little bump on the inside of the ring so that it keeps the ring from twisting and tilting. Hannah asks, how does it feel to have your proposal in the public eye? How do you feel about it? I was a little nervous about uploading the video of Stefan planning the proposal just because I never have Stefan on my YouTube channel unless it's like little appearances like that. And I just, you know, people say things about me left and right, nasty things, and I don't care. It's me. I'm the one that's putting myself online. But when it comes to like my loved ones and my friends, if you come after them, that's when it hurts. So I was nervous about uploading that video, but we got nothing but just kindness. And I love sharing my proposal because, like I said in the beginning, so many of you guys have been here since the very beginning of my relationship. You've been here before my relationship, when I was getting ghosted, when I was going on 1,000,010 bad dates, when I was going through heartbreak. So it was very special being able to share it with you guys because you guys are my girlfriends, man. Y'all are my girls. So it was fun. And everyone's been kind. This is a good question. Do you have baby fever? Are you going to see some mini Winnies and Stefans running around soon? You know what? I don't have baby fever. In fact, I've told this story before, but I didn't know if I wanted kids until I met Stefan and realized what an incredible dad he's going to be. And that's when it really sealed the deal. That's when I was like, I want to have babies with this man. And I'm not baby hungry. There's a lot of things that I want to achieve before we bring babies into this world. I could see us having babies maybe 2 years after we're married, 1 year after we're married. If it was up to Stefan, he would put a child in me on our honeymoon. Stefan really wants to have babies. Was he nervous? Stefan told me, and I'm sure he'll tell you in a later video, the only time Stefan got nervous was the first time we were looking at diamonds, and then after that he's been cool as a cucumber. I'm telling you, before we were eating dinner, before we got engaged, I couldn't even eat. I was so sick to my stomach. I couldn't eat. I was so sick. I was so anxious. And we were sitting right across from each other at dinner, and then our best friends were and Katie right here, and I just kept looking at Katie because I couldn't look at Stefan, and Stefan just ate his whole meal, kept going to the bathroom to get mic'd up, found that out later. Just acting plain Jane, okay? It was just acting like nothing was happening. So he was not nervous at all. It was pretty cute. Has being engaged put you back in the honeymoon stage again? Yes. Absolutely. It's just so exciting. I don't know, you guys. I didn't think being engaged was like that special until I was engaged, and then I was like, why do I feel like I'm walking on 10 clouds? I'm just so happy. So that's how it feels. Just happiness. All right, you guys, that is going to wrap up this Q&A. If there's one thing I've learned from this entire experience, do whatever the heck Bob you want. If you want to have a photographer there, if you want to have a videographer there, if you want to go ring shopping together, if you don't, you love surprises, you don't want to be surprised, do whatever the heck Bob you want that's going to make you the happiest. I would not change one thing about my proposal, my ring, the experience. Going diamond shopping with Stefan was so special, and it's a moment that I will remember forever, knowing that Jamie and Steph worked together to design the rest of my ring, even though they knew pretty much what I wanted. Having the ring be a surprise was perfect. I am so happy that we had a photographer and videographer there. That was a topic of debate in the comment section of my video, and you just gotta do whatever's gonna make you the happiest, okay? Listen, if there's one thing I've learned, I'm gonna reiterate, I already said it in this video, men cannot read your mind. If you want something done right, you want your expectations met or exceeded, you just gotta let them know. You just gotta let them know. You gotta let them know. I love y'all. I'm so excited over the next year to go on this wedding planning, workout with Wit for the wedding. I don't know, I gotta think of like, I got 2 series in my head I wanna do. Wedding planning, Wit's wedding planning, and like getting fit for the wedding. You know what I'm saying? So I'm so excited. I love you guys so much. Thanks for sharing this exciting moment with me. Y'all are the best. Stefan left, otherwise he would say thank you too. We love you. And until next time, I'll see you next time.